Sup guys, it's Terry. Welcome to Generically Yours, a channel that runs off creativity and enough coffee to make the dead walk. It's spooky season. This spooky season I wanted to do something creative. I had no idea what, but I kept thinking and thinking and thinking, and finally I walked into a store and I found this. It's basically a spooky season advent calendar with tiny pop figures. So I figured, since there's 13 that are characters based around horror movies, I would open one, and whichever one came out, I would draw. And I thought, perfect! I now have a plan! I haven't even taken the plastic off yet. I didn't want to tempt myself into peeking into what was in the box. What made me excited was when I looked at the back, and it lists some of the franchises. Annabelle, okay. It, classic. The Shining, The Nun, Beetlejuice, that's a fun one. The Exorcist, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, The Lost Boys. But then I got super excited when I read Little Shop of Horrors. I grew up with that musical. It still remains my favorite musical of all time. It's a little bit weird, but I love it. And that could explain a few things. I'm just hoping that Audrey 2 is in here. I'm really hoping it's Audrey 2 because I would really like to draw Audrey 2. But now with some editing magic, the plastic's off. I haven't looked up any unboxings of these online. I didn't want to accidentally spoil anything for myself. But it has a slip cover. It opens up to some nice creepy gates. And there we go, days 1 through 13. Let's go ahead and see which one I'm going to be drawing first. Well, that's good. It comes in a little baggie. Let's close him back up. I'm seeing a hat. It might be Freddy. Ooh. Might have to do some more editing magic in here in a second. Yep. Please hold for more editing magic. And we're back. Okay, it's not a keychain. And it is Freddy. So I'm going to be drawing Freddy. So I present to you, Generically Yours, 13 Days of Halloween. I was so relieved when Freddy was the first one to come out of that box. You guys have no idea. I was so afraid the first one was going to be one that I had never seen the movie of, and I'd go into it totally blind. But when Freddy popped out, it was a big sigh of relief, because I thought, I've at least seen bits and pieces of those movies. I at least know the vague idea of those movies, and I know what he looks like and who he is, so we're on the right track. When I was drawing him, I knew that I was going to be doing one of the more layered paper type looks with him. So I figured if I drew the hand in the foreground, it would add to the layered look with him kind of more looming in the background. That was the hope. That was the plan. And I think in the end it did kind of turn out pretty well. I did pull up a good few pictures of Freddy just to kind of make sure I had the right look down. I want to make sure I did it justice. The amount of times I actually redid the skin texture or the burn texture on his face, I don't want to admit how many times it took me and how many times I had to erase it. Let's just put it that way. It's that many times. Here I'm actually doing a splatter technique for the background I'm going to be putting directly behind him, because I did have a black piece of paper I wanted to use as the farthest back layer, but I figured as dark as he was going to be with the dark red and the dark green of his shirt, I wanted something that would kind of help make him pop a little bit and actually help show up. So I figured if I did a white bit behind him and did some blood splatter, it would be gory. It would be appropriate, because if you've seen any of those movies, you know that there's more than enough blood. And it would also definitely help him stand out against the black paper. I'm actually very impressed and very happy with how well these markers worked for this. They're not Copic markers. They're an off-brand of Copics, but they work, I'm assuming, just as well. I've never used Copics, but they work surprisingly well, and you can blend them together because they're alcohol markers. So if you've never worked with alcohol markers, I'm still getting used to it myself, but go ahead and try them. You won't regret it. They're pretty amazing, just the fact that you can blend them. I did end up using a little bit of silver metallic Sharpie on the blades of his glove just to kind of give it a metallic look. I didn't want it to be perfectly flat against everything else. I wanted it to kind of, be like, hey, look, I'm metal! I was very happy with how his face turned out. The way I did the shading and the burns, it turned out better than I thought it would. Off camera, I did add a little bit more shading just to, give it a little bit more dimension. But I was actually very happy with this final texture I added. It was a last minute choice. And I figured, you know what? How can I make this not so smooth and perfect? Let's tatter it. The blood splatter thing took forever to dry, but it was worth it because it gave the perfect dimension that I wanted to it. Many reference pictures later and one documentary on Nightmare on Elm Street, he's done. Not too bad for having never drawn him before in my life or anything like him. Probably one of the best hands I've ever drawn, and considering it's Freddy Krueger's hand, I don't know how I feel about saying that statement out loud, but it is what it is. I have no clue which one's next. But things look promising. I might be able to do this. This was a challenge I set forth upon myself, and I feel confident now after seeing this one. All hope is not lost. So guys, if you enjoyed yourself, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've noticed a lot of my viewers are not yet subscribed, so what you waiting for? Hit the button! Make sure to comment below. Let me know what you think of Freddy, how he turned out, what you thought of Pop Freddy. He was adorable. And let me know which ones you are hoping are in the box next. And don't forget, guys, on your way out, slap a like on it. Wait, no, I can't end it like this. I'm too curious. Pause one moment. I can't wait. We're gonna see which one's next. Oh, why are you stuck? Ugh. Number 2. Hold, please. Who is it? Oh my god! This is gonna be fun. If you want to find out who it is and see how it turns out, make sure to watch out for the next one. Hit that notification bell.